On the track for the first, 1 Raven Under Glass, owned by David Merrick, Kyle Ader. 2 To Run on Bluegrass, owned by Jeffrey Solomon, Jack Daly. 3 Camden Radiant, owned by William Carruthers, Dan Noble. Roy Biv G, the 4, owned by Runyon and Cole, Jeff Out. Joe Mars Griftar, the 5, owned by Chancey Love with Dave Hawk. The Competitor, number 6, owned by Enlo Atkinson, Dean Collins. Number 7 is Cassie's Little Joe, owned by Tom Tharps, Trent Tharps Jr. 8 is Glenn Prestonati's What's for Dessert, Kane Kaufman up. 9 is Famous Flyer, owned by Jerome Grogan with Dellis Miller. And the 10 is Far Bread, owned by Nancy Perry with Darren Mauser. 6 minutes. The backstretch, and there they go. They're off. Joe Mars Griftar and What's for Dessert go out together. They're followed by Roy Biv G in 3rd position. Then we get To Run Bluegrass in 4th. Camden Radiant is on the outside 5th, 2 lengths clear of Raven Under Glass. Then it's Far Bread off the 2nd tier, now racing 4th last to the Competitor, Famous Flyer, and Cassie's Little Joe trails the field, moving to head stretch for the first time. What's for Dessert and Kane Kaufman now draw to lead the way by a length and a half from an anxious Joe Mars Griftar, who comes to the outside on the retake. Quarter 27 3, passing the stands, and Joe Mars Griftar and Hawk are back on top. From What's for Dessert back to 2nd, Roy Biv G is a prominent 3rd, and To Run Bluegrass is starting up on the outside from 4th position. He'll bring Raven Under Glass along with him from 5th. Camden Radiant is back to 6th. 3rd over in 7th is Far Bread, followed by Famous Flyer, who moves out to grab cover. Then it's the Competitor inside of the trailer, Cassie's Little Joe. Double-decked as they round the clubhouse turn on their way to halftime. It's Joe Mars Griftar tripping that beam in a soft 59 seconds flat. Joe Mars Griftar by 1 length. To Run Bluegrass first up on the rim is just off his flank. Locked up in the box, What's for Dessert is 3rd. Raven Under Glass comes onto the scene 2nd over 4th. Roy Biv G is hemmed in 5th. 3 wide mounting a charge. Famous Flyer is picking up horses from mid-pack. Then we get Far Bread bottled up on the outside, followed by Camden Radiant, Cassie Little Joe, and 2 back to the Competitor as they head by 3/4 with Joe Mars Griftar leading the way. 3/4, 1:28 4, midway through the far turn. Joe Mars Griftar by a length and a half. To Run Bluegrass never posed a serious threat. What's for Dessert is losing ground along the pylons. Raven Under Glass 3 wide. Famous Flyer could not sustain his rally as the field straightens away. And they have Joe Mars Griftar to catch. The lead is 3 lengths. He's under urging. He's showing the way. What's for Dessert is racing 2nd. Roy Biv G shakes free. He's got late pace, but he's not going to catch Joe Mars Griftar, who wins this one by 2.5 lengths. Roy Biv G up 2nd. Camden Radiant 3rd. And 2, an 11-year-old gelded son of Striatros from Flana, Hanover by Tar Heel, owned and trained by Chancey Love of Proctorville, Ohio, driven to victory by Dave Hawk. They are for the second one is Here Comes Dawn, owned by Double E Meadows. Andy Schentler drives. 2 is Moonlight Rules, owned by J.D. Burnett, Dan Ader. 3 Spur of Puppets, owned by Jim Fry, Chad Clark. 4 is Thunderbird, owned by Reed Racing with Dean Collins. 5 No Mistake, owned by Leonard Buckner, Tom Brinkerhoff drives. 6 is the Brittany Farms Western and 10 and Jeff Out. 7, The Right Place K is owned by Robert Key with Del S. Miller. The 8 is Corsair Hanover, owned by Iris Horowitz with Debbie Rucker. 9 Tender B is owned by Robert Kent with Dan Noble, and number 10 is Meadowland Shuffle, owned by Eldon Combs with Dave Hawk. 7 minutes. In the backstretch, 8 Corsair Hanover, a bit slow to begin. There they go. They're off. Spur of Puppets, and here comes Don. Leave in tandem, and now here comes Don. Going better from the inside, takes command. Spur of Puppets will look to settle away in the 2-hole. Meadowland Shuffle off the second tier, comes away a prominent third, followed in fourth position by No Mistake. Length and a half farther back, and we get Tender B, followed by Thunderbird. Then it's Western Intent, who is 2 lengths clear of the Right Place K. Moonlight Rules, and Corsair Hanover, the slow starter, is 10th and last as they round the turn into the stretch. And here comes Don, is making the pace, reaching the opening quarter in 29 seconds flat. Spur of Puppets drafts in from second. It's a gap of 2 back. Meadowland Shuffle is third, followed by No Mistake in the 4th spot. Tender B landed a seat in 5th position. And now Dan Noble edges him to the outside. That'll provide cover to Thunderbird. 2 lengths farther back to Western Intent. Then 3 more to the trio of trailers, the Right Place K, Moonlight Rules, and Corsair Hanover. As they round the turn on the way to halftime, it's Here Comes Don cutting the mile, 58-4. Here Comes Don by 2 lengths. Pocket Sitter remains Spur of Puppets in second, followed by Meadowland Shuffle in third. Tender B continues to command the outer tier, now gaining ground on the outside into third position, and Thunderbird continues to move with that cover, though gapping it slightly. He's 4 lengths off the lead. No Mistake is racing in 6 by 2. Then it's Western Intent. He's 3 clear of Moonlight Rules, then 5 lengths farther back to Corsair Hanover, and much farther back to a troubled The Right Place K. 3/4, 127-3. Midway around the far turn, and here comes Don. Starts to get some urging, leads by a length. Spur of Puppets pops out of the pocket to challenge second, followed by Meadowland Shuffle in third. Then it's No Mistake in fourth. Tender B drops out of contention as they chase Here Comes Don down the stretch. Here Comes Don by 2 lengths. Spur of Puppets out after him in the center along with Meadowland Shuffle. Here comes Don looking for the line. Spur of Puppets trying to reach. Here Comes Don has won it. Spur of Puppets to go second. Meadowland Shuffle third, 157. Back in the winner's circle, here comes Don, racing for Double EE Meadows of Grable, Indiana. Trained and driven by Andy Shetler. First career victory, 157. He's a 3-year-old Cam's Card Shark from Coltsgate, Sweetie by No Nukes. Here's your rundown. Here comes Don, the winner. Moonlight Rules was 5th. Spur of Puppet 2nd. Thunderbird 8th. Coming up next. By Connie Messler, Dan Noble drives. 2 is Bocam, owned by Timothy Williamson. Roy Wilson is up. 3 is Marts Creek Johnny, owned by Thomas Cummins with Del S. Miller. 4 Equitability is owned by Mark Grismore, and he drives. 5 Cam's Jewel is owned by Tom Gray, Jeff Fout aboard. Post 6, it's Bud's Victory, owned by Greg Luther with Dan Ader. 7 Go to Town, owned by Russo, Washburn, Parcell, and the Strollin Stable, Kyle Ader. 8 is Call Me Leonard, owned by Laverne Gales II, Dave Hawk. From post 9, Mr. Hankey is owned by Ronald Fairchild with Kane Kaufman. 7 minutes. There in the backstretch. Slow start for the 9, Mr. Hankey. They're off. Bud's Victory and Equitability come away 1-2. Cam's Jewel will back off the early pace to sit the 3-hole trip gap of 2. Bocam is racing in 4th position, 2.5 back. The Polished Scooter, followed by Go to Town, who's taken up sharply. Call Me Leonard is next. And Mr. Hankey, the slow starter, is the back marker as they move to head stretch for the first time. And Bud's Victory now settles into the 2-hole, and Equitability goes on to be the pace setter. 2 lengths farther back, Cam's Jewel 3rd, Bocam 4th. 27-1, a fast opening quarter as they parade in front of the stands for the first time, and it's the 14-year-old Equitability on the engine here, leading the way by a length and a half. Bud's Victory follows in from second. Cam's Jewel is third. Bocam is fourth. First up and gaining ground, Call Me Leonard fifth. Polished Scooter back to sixth. Broad with cover, Mr. Hankey is seventh on the outside, and then we get Go to Town along the inside with Polished Scooter as they round the clubhouse turn on their way to the half-mile pole. It is Equitability leading the way, 58-2 out of the turn and down the backstretch. Equitability continues to put up the numbers in here. clear, leading the way by a length and a half. Bud's Victory is second. Call Me Leonard continues along uncovered on the rim third. Cam's Jewel is locked in fourth. Second over, Mr. Hankey, 3 lengths off the lead on the outside fifth. Bocam, nowhere to go. Fourth back at the pylons in sixth. Third over in seventh is Go to Town. Polished Scooter is eighth and last. They wheel by 3/4. Equitability leads the way in 1:27.4. Midway through the far turn, Equitability by a length and a half. Bud's Victory been riding his coattails the whole way. Mr. Hankey sent up 3 wide off cover as Call Me Leonard starts to relent. Followed way down the rail by Cam's Jewel as the field straightens away, and they come after Equitability. Mr. Hankey closing down the center. Polished Scooter from last is charging hard. Late kick, Bud's Victory. Mr. Hankey, here's Polished Scooter. Mr. Hankey has won it. Polished Scooter has to settle for second. Equitability third, 1:57.3. And last to first, he's a 4-year-old Cape Crusader from Jivey Tomb by Bobo Arrow, owned by Ronald Fairchild of Flat Gap, Kentucky, trained by Jeff Brewer. He's piloted to victory by Kane Kaufman. Second win this season for Mr. Hankey, lowers his career best by 4 seconds, 1:57.3. One Tommy's Trombone owned by Schoonover and Ledford, Randy Tharps. 2 Oh Golly Mrs. Molly owned by Mullinax and Dettori, Mike Allen. 3 Beamers Taylor T is owned by Brent Davis, Dave Hawk. 4 Ramblin' Wiley is owned by Robert Kaufman, Terry Holton. 5 Rosetta Sergio is owned by Brook Ends 4 Racing, Jeff Out. 6 Miracle Sabra is owned by Lehman, Winsky, Donovan, and Arledge, Dallas Miller drives. 7 is Cobra Sabra, owned by Gary Adams, Kane Kaufman. Post 8, it's Queen Spirit. He's owned by Dwayne Burton with Jeff Kirkbride. Number 9, Keystone Spark, is owned by John Howard, Kyle Later. 10 horses, Hello Pop, owned by Amon Collins, Dean Collins. 6 minutes to the 4th. Backstretch and nearing the start. There, off to an even beginning, going off stride, the 1 Tommy's Trombone. Beamer's Taylor T straight to the front, pursued early by Ramblin' Wiley and Rosetta Sergio from 3 deep. Late leavers on the far outside. Keystone Spark, Queen Spirit, Oh Golly Mrs. Molly is 6 towards the rail. Then it's a length and a half farther back to Cobra Sabra in 7th, then 7 more lengths, and we get Hello Pop, a Miracle Sabra, and Tommy's Trombone is the early trailer as Terry Holton and Ramblin' Wiley trot on by Beamer's Taylor T in 28-1, trotting past the grandstand for the first time. Ramblin' Wiley opens it up to 2. Beamer's Taylor T is content to sit in the pocket. It's a gap of 3 lengths farther back. Rosetta Sergio is 3rd, followed by Keystone Spark in 4th. 2 more. Queen Spirit was able to land a seat in 5th position as Beamer's Taylor T springs the pocket on Ramblin' Wiley, now settles back in. Oh Golly Mrs. Molly is racing in 6th position, 2 lengths farther back to Cobra Sabra in 7th. Then 2.5 more to Hello Papa, 5 lengths farther back to Miracle Sabra, followed by a distanced trailer, Tommy's Trombone, 58-2. Out of the turn and down the backstretch, and Ramblin' Wiley puts it in another gear, opens up 3 on Beamer's Taylor T in 2nd. Keystone Spark, first over on a steady gain from the outside. In 3rd, following cover, Queen Spirit off the pylons is now 4th. Rosetta Sergio is back to 5th. In between horses, Oh Golly Mrs. Molly 6th, 3 wide in 7th is Cobra Sabra with 5 lengths to make up, but it's still Ramblin' Wiley loose on the lead, 128-2. Midway around the far turn, Ramblin' Wiley by 4 lengths. Queen Spirit takes over the 2nd spot. Beamer's Taylor T is losing ground, followed by Cobra Sabra, who's got 7 to make up on Ramblin' Wiley, who's trying to last through the final 8th mile. He's on top at 30-1. It's Ramblin' Wiley by 2.5 lengths. Queen Spirit takes aim. Here comes Cobra Sabra closing in the center. Ramblin' Wiley trying to last off stride Queen Spirit. Cobra Sabra coming on to win it. Finishing second was Ramblin' Wiley. Off stride over the line was Queen Spirit. Then it was Oh Golly Mrs. Molly, 159-3. Let go at 9-1. Cobra Sabra scores in 1:59.3 for Gary Adams, Jerry Kutchback, and driver Kane Kaufman has got a double on tonight's card. Cobra Sabra, a 6-year-old overcomer out of Rocket Sabra by Falakbait. That is Sergio 6th, Miracle Sabra 8th. Cobra Sabra was the race winner. Queen Spirit was 3rd place, 4th for a lap down break at the finish. Keystone Spark 10th, Hello Papa 9th. Top down after the placing 7-3-5, 2-6-8, 1-4-10, 9. To Mr. TL, owned by Leonard Buckner, Tom Brinkerhoff. 3, the Jack Bull is owned by Arthur McCrae, Jack Daly. Camtastic Lover from Post 4 for Jack and Gertrude Morgan, Bill Long Jr. 5 is out. 6 is Nick Kress, some of the Kress Farms, Dave Hawkup. 7 is Ruffamum by Enlo Atkinson, Del S. Miller. 8 is Pocket Watch, owned by Gregory Knott with Darren Mauser. 9 is out. The 10 is Half Mile Wonder, owned by Scott Boer and Conrad Boer, Kyle Ader. Post time 7 minutes. 5th race pacing field lined up and set to go. There, off, several of them eager. The Jack Bull from between horses, Max Man nearest the pylons, 3 deep. It's Camtastic Lover as they head into the turn. Nick Kress in the top flight is 4th, followed by Mr. TL in 5th by 2.5. And then we get Ruff from Half Mile Wonder, and Pocket Watch is on the outside, chilling the field. They continue to sort themselves out. The Jack Bull on the outside leads it, hung out by Max Man, who slides up the pylons to take command. Camtastic Lover will settle away in 3rd, gap of 3 farther back to Nick Kress, Mr. TL, and Ruffam. They're by the quarter, 28-1. Moving past the grandstand for the first time, pacing on top, it's Max Man. Camtastic Lover is not content to settle away, and he charges up after the lead as they approach the wire and enter the clubhouse turn. The Jack Bull is now 3rd, 8 to 3 length span to Nick Kress in the 4th spot. 2.5 more to Mr. TL, followed by Ruff from Half Mile Wonder. Pocket Watch is last of the 8 as they round the clubhouse turn, heading to halftime, and Bill Long Jr. has Camtastic Lover carving out the fractions now, reaching the half in a swift 57-4. It's Camtastic Lover by a length and a quarter. Max Man is pocketed in 2nd, and there goes Nick Kress on the outside. Nick Kress, in his return to the races, is soaring up first up on the outside. The challenge for the lead. The Jack Bull is 4th along the pylons. Mr. TL comes to the outside in 5th. He's 4 off the lead. He's going to have to pick it up from here. Then 5 lengths back to the trio of trailers. Pocket Watch, Half Mile Wonder, and a Ruffam as they head into the turn. And Nick Kress applying mild pressure to the pace setter, Camtastic Lover, who maintains a 1-length advantage, 1:27.2, 3/16 to pace as they head for the top of the lane. And it's Camtastic Lover responding to the challenge of Nick Kress, and now opening up by 2 lengths. Max Man is there along the inside 3rd. The Jack Bull is 4th, but Camtastic Lover strictly the one to catch. Bill Long Jr. keeps him to his task. He leads it by 3. Max Man 2nd. The Jack Bull shakes free, but Camtastic Lover is going to score his 2nd win of the season by open lengths. Max Man 2nd. The Jack Bull may have held 3rd over Nick Kress, 158. Back to the winner's circle. Camtastic Lover for the 2nd time in his career lowers his career best mile to 158 flat for Jack and Gertrude Morgan. David Morgan, the winning trainer, and Bill Long Jr. gets him home on top. He's a 3-year-old son of Camtastic from Penny Lover by Norman Starr. Here's a rundown. Max Man 2nd, Mr. TL finished 7th. The Jack Bull 3rd, Camtastic Lover was the winner. Vienna's Spark was scratched. Nick Kress 4th, Ruffam 6th, Pocket Watch 5th, Banana Bow scratched, Half Mile Wonder 8th, 2, 7, 3, 1 scratch 4, 6, 5, scratch 8. Up next, the 6th race, 1 Sturdy Faith has been scratched sick. 4, Potential Practice, Kyle Ader. Post time 13 minutes at 9:09. For tonight's 6th race, exact and trifecta wagering. The 1 is out, the 2 is Spartan Hall, owned and driven by Ned Hodkinson. 3 is Incredibly Fast, owned by Iris and Harry Horowitz, Debbie Rucker. 4 is Potential Practice, owned by Mario Selly with Kyle Ader. 5 Capricorn's Gal is owned by Fisher and Mitchell, Del S. Miller. The 6 horse, Style and Rain, is owned by Libfell Cats and Gold Band Dave Hawk. 7, YL Face-to-Face, some of the Casper stable, Randy Tharps aboard. 8, Super Bandit is owned in partnership by Jerry Folk and Connie Armstrong. The driver is Dan Noble. And number 9 is Dr. Casey Curry, owned by Bill Ferris, with Joe Adamski up. Post time for the 6th in 7 minutes. Is the 3 Incredibly Fast. They're off. Starlit Rain and YL Face-to-Face go out in tandem. Potential Practice comes away in the top flight 3rd. 3 deep in 4th, the Super Bandit. Capricorn's Gal mid-pack in 5th by 2. Spartan Hall is next. Dr. Casey Curry is second last to Incredibly Fast, who continues on a gallop. Midway around the far turn, Starlit Rain sprints away early, opens up by 3. YL Face-to-Face second by 2 lengths. Then we get Potential Practice in 3rd. Capricorn's Gal 4th. Super Bandit will tuck in 5th. Quarter 28-1 as they trot in front of the grandstand for the first time. And up top, it's Starlit Rain. Starlit Rain is opened up 2.5 lengths on this field. YL Face-to-Face, the closest pursuer, now draws a closer second. Potential Practice is 3rd. Capricorn's Gal sitting in 4th, 4.5 lengths off the lead. Then it's Super Bandit, 3 lengths farther back to Spartan Hall, followed by Dr. Casey Curry, and Incredibly Fast continues on a run as they reach the half-mile pole. Starlit Rain's got the brakes on, 58-1. She goes a second quarter of 30 seconds flat, but Capricorn's Gal is making her move up on the outside. Capricorn's Gal will confront the tempo setter Starlit Rain and try to take over as they race down the backstretch. 2 lengths farther back, YL Face-to-Face is 3rd, followed on the outside by Super Bandit, now parked out in 4th position, racing in 5th. It's Potential Practice, then 5 lengths back to Spartan Hall and Dr. Casey Curry. A battle continues up top between Capricorn's Gal and Starlit Rain. Starlit Rain draws back out in 1:26-3, 28-2 in the 3rd quarter as they move to the top of the stretch. Starlit Rain under urging leads the way by just over 1. Capricorn's Gal drops back to 2nd, but she's not done yet. Gap of 5 to YL Face-to-Face and Super Bandit as they straighten away. Starlit Rain by 2 lengths. Capricorn's Gal still trying to run her down, and here she comes on the outside. Starlit Rain, Capricorn's Gal in a game effort gets up to score. Finishing second with Starlit Rain, Super Bandit a distant 3rd in 1:57. Impressive performance, 1:57 for her 4th win in 11 starts in the season. She's owned by the partnership of Fisher and Mitchell of Zanesville and Pataskala, trained by Dave Mitchell, and she was driven to victory by Del S. Miller. Capricorn's Gal is a 4-year-old daughter of Inquirer from This Gal's OK by OK Dick. Here they are for the 7th. 1 is Slammy, owned by Donald Turner, Andy Shetler. 2 Magic Silk is owned by Reed Racing, Dean Collins. Brooklet's Rock from Post 3 for Pamela and David Hanauer. Trent Tharps trains and drives. RW's Out of Towner is the 4, owned by Vincent Gomez. He drives. 5 horses out. 6 is Roy Sweeney's Sable Scooter. Jeff out aboard. 7 is Cowboy Herb, owned by Jeff Brewer, Kane Kaufman. And the 8 is D. Felice, owned by Jerome Grogan with Del S. Miller. 7 minutes. Seventh race field lined up in the backstretch and nearing the start. They're off. Heading to the front, it's RW's Out of Towner. Magic Silk is showing speed, as is Sable Scooter from the outside. Slammy comes away in 4th, length and a half back to Brooklet's Rock, followed by Cowboy Herb. D. Felice is the trailer early on as they enter the turn and move to the head of the stretch. It's RW's Out of Towner. Sable Scooter is pacing on early to challenge second, followed by Magic Silk, pocketed 3rd. 2 back, Slammy is 4th, span of 3 to Brooklet's Rock, followed by Cowboy Herb and D. Felice, and they wheel by the quarter in 27 4/5, passing the stands for the first time. Jeff Vowd now clears the top spot with Sable Scooter, but here comes Dean Collins with Magic Silk on the outside. Magic Silk is surging up, looking to take over the lead as they approach the clubhouse turn. RW's Out of Towner is back to 3rd. Slammy gapped in 4th. Cowboy Herb underway on the outside in 5th position. Brooklet's Rock is guided to the outside to pick up cover, and 3 lengths back to DeFelice, who continues to trail the field as Magic Silk makes the front end at 56-4. It's Magic Silk by a length and a half from Sable Scooter. Now back to the 2-hole. And Cowboy Herb is ranging up uncovered on the rim from third. There goes Cowboy Herb up into second position. RW's out of Tanner is now hemmed in fourth. Gapping cover but gaining ground. Brooklet's Rock comes into range on the outside fifth. And then it's Slammy inside of DeFelice, who's moving up from the back of the pack. They head for the far turn. And Cowboy Herb is gradually wearing down Magic Silk and leads the way by 3/4 in a fast 1:26-1. Midway around the far turn, and Cowboy Herb clears the pylons, kicks off by 2. Magic Silk cannot go with him in second. Brooklet's Rock continues to make headway on the outside third, followed by a laboring Sable Scooter. DeFelice is fifth as they straighten out and head for home. And it's Cowboy Herb leading the way by 2.5 lengths. He's put to urging as Brooklet's Rock closes in on the outside, followed by Magic Silk at the rail. But it's Cowboy Herb, Brooklet's Rock closing. Brooklet's Rock on the outside, getting up for the win. Cowboy Herb and DeFelice third, 157. Is the winning trainer driver. He guides Brooklet's Rock to win number 2 on the season, by far a career best mile 157. Brooklet's Rock is a 4-year-old son of Townation from Brooklet Matrimony by Armbro Century. The official winner of tonight's 7th race, Brooklet's Rock. 3-7 exact to 54 even. Tried 3-7-8, 180-180. The winner, RW's out of Towner 7th. Comatros scratched, Sable Scooter. One is Keno Ace, owned by Arthur Gillum. Art Gillum Jr. drives. 2 is Marianne George's Samarama. Dan Noble is up. Pipe is the 3, owned by Jerry Lee Decker with Jeff Fowd. 4, Colby L is owned by Keith and Donna Ross. The driver, Randy Tharps. Number 5, I'm a Skirt Chaser, owned by Jill Linda Thompson, Terry Thompson Jr. 6, Viverick is owned by Richard Shively with Jack Daly. 7 is Traction Control, owned by William Cantrell, Kane Kaufman. 8, Big Game Fish, owned by Ferguson, Suda, and Suda, Dean Collins. Number 9, He's Back, is owned by Donald Williams with Kyle Ader. And the 10, Can Win Hanover, is owned by the Darby's Edge Stable with Dave Hawk. 7 minutes. There they go. There, off a fast start for I'm a Skirt Chaser, who goes straight to the lead. He's back from the far outside with Samarama and Keno Ace along the pylons fourth. A gap of 2. Can Win Hanover comes away nicely from the second tier in fifth. He's 2.5 clear of Pipe, followed by Colby L. Then we get Viverick, who's 2 in front of Traction Control. Big Game Fish is the early trailer. He's about 20 lengths off the pace. That is being set by He's Back to the top of the stretch. He's Back leads the way, but here comes Samarama up after the lead early on. The quarter goes in 27-4, and Samarama takes charge as they pass the grandstand. He's Back is now pocketed in second position, a length and a half back to I'm a Skirt Chaser. Now I'm a Skirt Chaser edges to the outside to go up first over. Can Win Hanover will ride that cover. Keno Ace is back to fifth. Third over and sixth is Colby L. Fourth over and seventh is Viverick, followed by Pipe along the rail. Traction Control is hustled to the outside, and he's 4 lengths clear of Big Game Fish as the outer tier develops as they reach halftime in 58-1. Out of the turn and down the backstretch, it's Samarama by a narrow margin, taking heavy pressure from I'm a Skirt Chaser on the outside. They are just about on even terms, and Can Win Hanover is soaring up 3 wide off cover. He's Back is now racing in fourth position. Colby L is underway 3 deep. Gap of 2 lengths farther back to Viverick. Then it's a struggling Keno Ace inside of Traction Control, and then it's Big Game Fish, and Pipe is back to last. Can Win Hanover takes the lead, but it could be short-lived. Colby L is creeping up on the outside in 1:26-3. Midway around the far turn, Colby L on the outside starts to get to Can Win Hanover. Length and a half farther back, and Viverick comes onto the scene now 3 deep in third position as they straighten out and drive for home. Colby L takes the lead. Can Win Hanover could not go with him. Viverick continues to rally down the center, but it's Colby L in deep stretch. Colby L Colby-L is drawing away. No trouble for Colby-L tonight. He wins it easily in 1:55.3. Finishing second was Vivek. He's back up third. $4.6 exact to $45.20. Try 469, 470 even. Colby-L back to the winner's circle. An impressive performance, much as he showed earlier in the season, as he scores here in 1:55.3 for Keith and Donna Ross, Belle Fountain, Bob Harper, the winning trainer, Randy Tharps, the winning driver. Colby-L is a 3-year-old Noble Land Sam from Falcon Down by Falcon Almahurst. Here's your top down for the 8th. Keno Ace was 10th, Samarama 9th, Pipe 8th. Colby-L the winner, I'm a Skirt Chaser 5th. Vivek was 2nd, Traction Control 7th. Big Game Fish finished 6th, he's back 3rd, Canwin Hanover 4th. Two is George Conklin Jr.'s Nuclear Style, Dallas Miller the pilot. 3 Born Pacing is owned by Bill Robinson with Randy Tharps. 4 Dots Big Guy owned by Catherine Best and Curtis Best, Charlie Schoonover. 5 Noble Thor is owned by Gretchen Rosman and Jane Farian, Dave Hawk. 6 Cam Sailor is owned by Kenneth Thompson with Jeff Fout. 7 First Time Adam is owned by Robert Cox with Dan Noble. 8 Hannah's Boy is owned by Robert Bobo with Tyven Roden. 9 Western Kin is owned by Mayhew and Tabman, Sean Mayhew. And the 10 is Sulky's Trick, unreleased to Jerry Palmer with Charlie Neff. 6 minutes to the 9th. Lining up. There they go. There, for the lead, it's First Time Adam from the outside. With good early speed, both Noble Thor and Hannah's Boy, as expected, along the inside. Born Pacing drives on from 4th, hung out in 5th is Dot's Big Guy. Then we get Urbane, who's 2 lengths clear of Cam Sailor. Next in line, it's Sulky's Trick, followed along the inside by Nuclear Style. And after a slow beginning, Western Kin is the early trailer. Leading to head stretch, it's First Time Adam. Call it a length and a half for Dan Noble. 27-2 for the opening quarter. Passing the stands for the first time. First Time Adam is making the early pace, but is now being tackled by Born Pacing on the outside. Born Pacing up to apply pressure. Randy Tharps has Born Pacing hooked up with First Time Adam. Hannah's Boy, a ground-saving 3rd, and Urbane rushes into contention on the outside, now 2nd over. 3rd over is Cam Sailor. Then we come down to Noble Thor along the pylons in 6th position as they round the clubhouse turn. Then 7 lengths back to the second flight of trailers made up of Dot's Big Guy, Nuclear Styles 3 deep, and then it's Sulky's Trick and Western Kin. Half goes in 57 seconds flat. Out of the turn and down the backstretch, First Time Adam and Born Pacing side by side, stride for stride, and now Urbane sweeps up 3 wide, and First Time Adam gives way. Urbane on the outside forges to the lead. Born Pacing trying to stick with him in 2nd. Cam Sailor on the outside 3rd. 2 lengths back, Noble Thor is out 3 deep, gaining ground from 4th. Hannah's Boy is 5th, followed by Nuclear Style in 6 3/4. 1:26.4. Midway around the far turn, Urbane leads by a length. Cam Sailor on the outside, pressuring 2nd. Noble Thor dives down to take the inland route from 3rd. Nuclear Style has made headway into 4th, and dropping out of contention is Born Pacing as the field straightens away. Urbane leads the way. Noble Thor poised to strike from the inside, followed by Cam Sailor. Nuclear Style a kick on the far outside. Noble Thor strikes the front. Nuclear Style is closing on the outside. It's gonna be Noble Thor and Dave Hawk to win it. Nuclear Style up 2nd, followed by Urbane and Cam Sailor, 1:58.2. Circle with Noble Thor, a 3-year-old Noble Land Sam from Popping Along by Chairman of the Board. Owned by Gretchen Rosman and Jane Farian, trained by Richard Rosman, driven to victory again by Dave Hawk, 1:58.2.